We usually think of violence as something loud, something sudden, something obvious. But some of the most damaging forms of violence are quiet. They don't bruise the body. They slowly wear down the mind. Modern money works like that, not through force, but through pressure. Picture a normal working professional. Nothing extreme, no bad decisions, no chaos, just someone trying to live a decent, stable life. They wake up early, they work full days, they answer emails late at night. They do what's expected. And on paper, everything looks fine. Income comes in, bills go out, life keeps moving. But underneath, something is constantly tightening. That tightening is the violence. It starts early. Education is framed as the only safe path. Debt is presented as investment in yourself. Housing is something you must secure as fast as possible. Transportation becomes mandatory, not optional. None of this is presented as coercion. It's presented as responsibility. By the time income starts flowing, most choices are already made. Monthly payments line up quietly. Student loans, rent or mortgage, car payments, insurance, subscriptions. Together, they form a system that doesn't allow mistakes, or pauses, or rest. This is where the violence lives, in the lack of flexibility. A missed paycheck doesn't mean inconvenience, it means anxiety. A health issue doesn't mean recovery, it means financial fear. A job change doesn't mean opportunity. A few months of uncertainty, and suddenly the stress spikes again. Not because income dropped to zero, but because the structure had no slack. Financially calm people aren't immune to problems. They just design for them differently. They don't aim to maximize lifestyle. They aim to preserve margin. Because real safety isn't about income, it's about how much pressure your life can absorb. And most people never call this pressure violence, because it doesn't arrive as a shock. It arrives as normal life, slowly, quietly, predictably. The pressure becomes background noise, something you live with, not something you question. Over time, the mind adapts to constant tension. Stress becomes the default state. Calm starts to feel unfamiliar, even suspicious. People begin to confuse exhaustion with ambition, anxiety with responsibility, survival with success. The system rewards consistency, not reflection, so most people keep moving, not because they want more, but because stopping feels dangerous. This is why so many lives feel busy but directionless, productive but fragile, stable on the surface, brittle underneath. The violence isn't in one decision, it's in never being allowed to step back, to ask what this structure is doing to you, or what it's quietly taking away. Financial intelligence begins with naming the pressure, seeing the system clearly without drama, understanding that some stress isn't personal failure, it's structural design. And once you see that, you can start designing differently, not perfectly, but consciously. Awareness changes the weight of pressure. The pressure doesn't disappear, but it stops feeling personal. That distinction matters more than motivation ever will, because clarity creates energy without pressure. Energy doesn't come from pushing harder, it comes from removing unnecessary weight. When weight lifts, movement feels natural again. This is where confidence quietly returns, not from proving yourself, but from knowing where you stand, from understanding your limits without shame, and choosing progress that doesn't burn you out. This kind of progress is quieter, but it lasts. Over time, this kind of strength changes how you live. You stop reacting to every pressure. You start choosing deliberately instead. Less noise, more direction. That's what sustainable progress actually feels like. It builds trust in yourself again. Not because everything is easy, but because you're no longer fighting yourself. Your energy starts moving forward instead of leaking away. And that's how calm progress becomes real. If you want to see more calm, informative videos like this, you can subscribe to the channel and like this video. no pressure.